Hello students, we will go to last classes we have discussed about the Government of India Act 1919. In this class we will discuss about Indian Independent Act 1947. During the last classes we have discussed about Government of India Act, in which we have discussed about what are the important provision of 1919, how far this act is important. From this act different type of statutory commission was appointed to promote the interest of the workers. This act have increased the membership in legislative assembly, and this act have started the bicameral legislature at central level, such as legislative assembly and legislative council. At state level they have established unicameral legislature. Now we are going forward for a new topic, which is the Indian Independent Act 1947. So this is the last act which was implemented by the Britishers. This is one of the last act. This is the last act. We will go forward here. Indian Independent Act. If you are talking about Indian Independent Act, this act was implemented by Britishers to get independence to India. So this is the act, no doubt this is the very favorable act. This is the very good act. Among all the act, so we are waiting for this act only, the Government of India Act 1947, and this act was implemented by Britishers. According to this act, Britishers decided to transfer the power from British authority. They wanted to transfer the power to the Indian government. So this is one point. So this act was passed. Now we will discuss about it. If you are talking about the Indian Independence Act, this act in 1947, this act was introduced by Lord Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten importance is the last Governor General of India. Lord Mountbatten is the last Governor General of India, and he formulated this act, Government of India Act 1947. And this act was mainly introduced in the British Parliament. So this act was not introduced in the Indian Parliament. So this was mainly introduced in the British Parliament, Government of India Act 1947. And according to this act, British authorities decided to transfer the power from British government. They wanted to transfer the power to the Indian authorities and Indian governments. Now, if you are talking about the British Parliament, so British Parliament have introduced this act when they have introduced this act on 4th July 1947. This act was introduced. So British Parliament have introduced this act on 4th July 1947, and this act was approved very fastly. So this act was approved on 8th July 1947. So during that time, the importance of the act is transfer the power from the British Parliament to the Indian Parliament. Now what are the main provisions of this act we will discuss about. So we have discussed that this act was introduced by the Lord Mountbatten, who is the last Governor General of India. So when he came to India, so an act was introduced in the British Parliament. This was introduced on 4th July, and this act got approved in 8th July. In which Lord Mountbatten played a very important role. Now we will go forward. So this act, the main important provisions of this act is, this act led for the formation of two independent states. One is India and one is a separate state which is called as Pakistan. So 1947, at last the government have decided. So government have decided and formulated two independent states, and they wanted to transfer the power to the two different states. One is India and Pakistan. During that time, India and Pakistan was divided, and Lord Mountbatten played a very important role for creating divisions in between the India as well as Pakistan. So he divided a line of control. So Lord Mountbatten, what he have did, he have made a line of control between the India and Pakistan. As per this act, then this act has led this act has played a very important role for the formation of India as well as a separate country which is called as Pakistan. Next come to the point. What is the second important provisions of Britishers? So Britishers supremacy was completely ended, because when they have transferred the power to the Indian government, from this act they have transferred the power to the Indian Parliament. So British Parliament have transferred the power. So when they transfer their power to the Indian Parliament, what happened? The power of the Britishers was quite ended. So after formulation of this act, the Britishers decided to transfer the power, and the power was ended and the supremacy was ended. in terms of presidency and in terms of princely states. Children, during that time, you know that India, if you see, India is a very big country. India is mainly consists of British presidency and one is called princely states. India is mainly consists of two states, one is British presidency and princely states. In British presidency, Britishers have directly authority on British presidency, they will directly rule the state. So these British presidencies were directly under the control of Britishers. So they have direct rule of Britishers in this presidency, like Madras presidency, Bombay presidency, Kolkata presidency. During that time, Mumbai was called as Bombay, okay, and that's why Bombay presidency. 1995 to 96, during that name was changed to Mumbai, okay, but during that time Mumbai was called as Bombay. So Bombay presidency, Madras presidency and Kolkata presidency, okay, like that they have many different presidencies. All these were under the control of Britishers. There are overall 11 presidencies, 11 provincial states which were directly under the control of British government. So like that there are 11 states. So what is the difference between the British presidency and princely states are? In British presidency, directly rule of Britishers are there, but in princely states indirect rule of Britishers are there. Direct rules are not there in princely states. In every princely states, normally the princes are ruling the country, but indirectly the Britishers are ruling the princely states. How? Because the princely states have to follow the advice of Britishers. The princely states have to follow the advice of Britishers. So indirectly there is a rule of British in princely states. So after formulation of this Act 1947, the Britishers' supremacy was quite ended in terms of presidencies and in terms of princely states also. The Britishers' supremacy was quite ended, because this Act is saying that after the formulation of this Act, the power from the Britishers' authority will be transferred to the Indian Parliament. So when the power is going to the Indian Parliament, automatically what will happen? The Britishers' supremacy and the Britishers' rule was quite ended. This is one part. Next we will go forward. Princely states, what are the options we will see. At last in this Act, the Britishers has given some options to the princely states. Princely states means, just now we have discussed, the states which were directly under the control of princes. Like for example, Hyderabad state is a princely state. Okay, Hyderabad state, or if you talk an example, Junagadh is a princely state, Travancore is a princely state, Bhopal is a princely state. During that time many princely states were there. So princely states, they got an option. What they got option? If the princely states wanted to become the part of India, they can join in a part of India, or if they wanted to become the part of Pakistan, they can join as a part of Pakistan, or if they wanted to remain independent, they can remain independent. So Britishers has made three options to the princely state. They have given nearly three options. First option, what they said, if any princely states wanted to join as a part of India, they can become the Indian part. If any princely states wanted to join in the separate Pakistan, they can become the part of Pakistan. If any princely states wanted to remain separate, they can remain separate. But after when these options were given, it was later that when the Britishers went away, our government have most of the princely states and many states has every states have become the part of India only. So most of the states, maximum states, if you see, they have joined in the territories of India. By their willful they have joined and they become the part of India. So this is one point. Okay, but few of the princely states, they wanted to remain independent, but few of the states, they wanted to remain independent, but at last they also become the part of India. Okay, so this is one point. So after getting this option, next we will go forward. At last, after this Act, Government of India Act 1947, what it says that they have nearly two constitution assembly have to be created. So why? Because now two constitution assembly were created, one constitution assembly in India and one constitution assembly in Pakistan. Okay, why? Because when two separate states are there, then they need two separate constitution assembly, and this constitution assembly are mainly responsible for preparing a constitution. India, in this constitution assembly, our constitution assembly was formed in 1946. In this constitution assembly, we played a very important role for the formulation of constitution. We have formed constitution, and constitution assemblies plays very important role. But after this Act, two constitution assembly were created, one is India and one is Pakistan, and later the territories were also defined. Okay, Indian territories and Pakistan territories were defined in this Government of India Act 1947. So Lord Mountbatten, played a very important role for the Indian Independence Act 1947. Okay, he is the last Governor General, Lord Mountbatten, who played a very important role for the Indian Independence Act 1947. So once again we will see the recapitulation part what we have discussed. This is the final act which was implemented by the British government. So Indian Independence Act is the last act which was implemented by the British government. Indian Independence Act was implemented in 1947 and this act was introduced by Lord Mountbatten have introduced this act, and this act was mainly introduced in where it was introduced in the British Parliament. So Indian Independence Act was mainly introduced in the British Parliament and it was introduced by Lord Mountbatten. Next, when we are talking about the British Parliament, first this Indian Independence Act was introduced on 4th July 1947. So Britishers have introduced this act on 4th July 1947 and they have approved this act on 8th July 1947. First the act was passed on 4th July and later they have approved on 8th July. What are the main provision of this act is? So in this act led for the formation of two separate states, one is India and one is Pakistan. According to this act, the first important provision is after the passing of this act says that separate states will be created India and separate states will be created Pakistan based by the demand made by the people. At last the Britishers' supremacy, after passing this act, the Britishers' supremacy was quite ended. Okay, the Britishers' supremacy in terms of princely states and the Britishers' supremacy in terms of British presidency was quite ended. You will get a doubt what is meant by British presidency and princely state. During that time in India, our country was mainly classified into two regions, one which is British presidency and one is princely state. British presidency is a place where the Britishers used to rule. Most of these presidencies we can find in coastal areas only, either Bombay, Kolkata, Madras. Most of the British presidencies are lying very close to the coastal areas. And after the formation of this act, what happened? The British presidencies, the Britishers' supremacy, in the sense the Britishers' power over British presidency and princely states were directly ended. Okay, princely states are nothing but the states where the princes have a directly control over that. Now princely states, according to this act, they have given option. Princely states, whatever the states which were ruling by princes, how many princely states were there? 562 princely states were there. British presidencies were only level. They were level presidencies, but how many princely states were there? Nearly 562 princely states were there which were directly under the control of princes. Okay, and indirectly the Britishers' rule is there in princely states also. So they have given option that if any princely states wanted to become the part of India, or if they wanted to join in Pakistan, or if they wanted to remain independent, that is directly under the control of them. Okay, at last this act led for the creation of two constitution assembly. So one constitution assembly was formed in India and one constitution assembly was formed in Pakistan. So two important constitution assembly were formed. Constitution assembly is very important place to create the constitution. First in constitution assembly the members are appointed, intellectual peoples are appointed, and then constitution preparations will be started. India have set up their own constitution assembly in 1946. Now territories, if you see, territories were also defined by this act. Indian territories, what are the Indian territories and what are the Pakistan territories, everything was defined in this act 1947. And Lord Mountbatten played a very important role in Indian Independence Act 1947. So Lord Mountbatten is the last Governor General who played a very important role in this act. So children, this is about the Indian Independence Act 1947. This act is the last act which the Britishers have passed, and this act is the last act which was implemented by the Britishers. After that we got independence. Okay, after 1947, okay, 15th August we got independence. Okay, so most of the act after 1947, most of the act was implemented in Indian Parliament only. Okay, this is the last act which was mainly passed by the British officers and British Parliament. Okay children, we will meet you in the next class. In the next class we will discuss about Union Council of Ministers. Thank you very much.